That just made me plumb upset to my stomach. Well, good morning, guys. Welcome back to Papaw's Place. As always, if this is your first time here, thanks for dropping in. Feel free to drop in anytime you feel, my friend. Guys, today I'm putting some eggs, and these are from some Bresse chickens, in the lockdown here. Testing out my homemade little incubator here. Now, a few weeks ago, I done a video on building this little incubator, and I didn't have nothing in it. But after I tested it a few nights and we went into some extremely cold nights, and I didn't have no heater on in this shed, and this little shed ain't insulated, so it was getting down there. One night got down to 9 degrees, and this little ice chest, because it's such thick wall, kept that temperature dead on. I got a little thermometer in there that tells you the high and the low, and it kept it within 1 degree. Well, actually, it kept it within 2 degrees until I made the next upgrade. But after testing it out, I decided I liked it so much, I went on and I bought this. I think this is called a STC. I had to walk around there and look. That's a STC 1000 temperature controller. Now, the one I had before on the first homemade incubator I had out of an ice chest was an Inkbird 1000. Well, I like this STC better because even though it don't go to Fahrenheit, it's in Celsius. You can have your time when you set it to where when your light goes off for the heat don't go down. On the Inkbird, you had to set it 1 degree. It had to go all the way down 1 degree before it kicked back on. With this one here, I can't remember Celsius, but on Fahrenheit, it's basically like half a degree. So when the light comes on, it'll go down a half a degree, kick back on. Go down a half a degree, kick back on. And that's been keeping this temperature on my inside thermometer within 1 degree at all times. So I purchased that for about $10, and I added a little fan inside, so now it ain't no still air incubator. Well, during that time I was collecting, I got one hen out there I want to kind of do a one-on-one breeding, selective breeding with to see what I can get out of her. Well, of course, this time of year she ain't laying an egg every day, so I prolonged it there till I got, I think it's 7 eggs I collected, so I put them in the incubator. But I'm going to go on and tell y'all for this first test, I put the eggs in my Manicoop incubator in the house and let them turn, because I had already ordered my little temperature controller here and my fan, so I put them in there and was letting them turn till I got this hooked up and tested it and got it set just right where my temperatures was right. And I don't know if this thing's off. It may be the one that's on, but it's set on 37.5 Celsius instead of 38 Celsius. 38 Celsius, if I ain't mistaken, is 100 degree Fahrenheit. But to get this to match my thermometer that's in the inside and my old faithful AC thermometer, I got manual thermometer stuck in there, I had to get this set on 37.5. I ain't gonna go into how to do the settings on it. There's other videos that you can look up, show you how these things work and how you set them and how you wire them. But I'll give y'all just a real quick peek in case you missed the first video. This was a styrofoam box that my son had ordered some pizzas from Chicago or somewhere. He had worked in Chicago or somewhere, and I don't know if he found a place he really loved their pizzas. Knowing him, he made friends with them, but he got some pizzas in this box, and it was such thick wall. And that day I was out here, and I'm like, I can make me a little incubator out of that. And I did. So I'm gonna get y'all up here close. But I just got my manual thermometer stuck through there. Got my temperature controller. It's actually glued on the top of this box with 100% silicone. The probe got a little hole stuck through where the probe hangs in the inside. I made me a little window plug here. I put the glass in the inside. When the light's on, I can see down in there. But I left this plug like this because it helps insulate it. On the side over here, I got a vent hole, and I made me a little bracket here where I can open and close it. And I'm doing what you call a dry hatch on these until today it's going into lockdown, so I'm gonna add a little bit of water in the bottom of this incubator. And on the side right here, I got a speed control 12 volt fan, but this converts it to 110 electricity. But I can turn, y'all hear the fan? I can turn the fan up and down. And I got it adjusted with my heat. It's doing good, about not quite halfway. But there's the little incubator. Now I'm gonna open it up. I ain't gonna keep it open long because, like I said, going into lockdown. Now what does lockdown mean on this one? That means I just ain't gonna come out here in the morning and pull my egg turner. I got a homemade egg turner. I pull it in the morning, it rolls the eggs over one way, and that afternoon I push it and it rolls the eggs back the other way. So now I'm gonna give y'all a quick shot inside. Like I said, I don't want to keep this open very long. You see the thermometer right there? Actually, it ain't even a degree difference. 100.1 to like 100.8. 26% humidity. You see my temperature is changing. I got 7 eggs in there. There where I mounted the fan to the side. Also, I ended up, if y'all watched my first video, I put a little heat shield here. That makes the heat distributed out to where it ain't got no cold or hot spots in there. Y'all can go back and watch the video on building this and see a little more. I attach it above up here where y'all can click on the link and go watch it. So that is the $20 incubator. It was a free incubator until I bought the temperature controller and the fan. So we're gonna go outside and I'm gonna look at my chicken brooder. I got something I want to show y'all in there that a lot of folks ain't thought about. Plus I had a viewer send a message to me asking me would I show my chicken brooder. So we're gonna go outside and look at it. But before the end of this video, it's gonna be 3 or 4 more days for me. I'm gonna show y'all the update on this and how many of them 7 eggs hatched. Now I think they was all fertile, but I ain't sure if I had any damage from the cold. But I did candle them, but I didn't candle these eggs early. I actually candled them at about day 10 when I was gonna bring them out here and put them in this incubator. But like I said, after we do these eggs, I got more eggs I'm gonna be playing with all summer. Plus I got quails I'm gonna be doing. And the thing I kind of like about this, even if I don't use it with the egg turner, because I can just remove that, I can put a lot of quail eggs in here. I could put them quail eggs in one of my incubators in the house, let them go through their egg turning stage, and then on lockdown day bring them out here. Then I ain't making that mess in my incubators that I got indoors. Reason my incubators is indoors, because you put one of them plastic incubators out here in this shed, you cannot make it keep the temperature. This ain't no heated shed, it's not insulated. Some of them incubators are great, some of them are high dollar. And I ain't got no high dollar one, but the ones I got work great. But that little thin plastic, you can't put them out in a shed when it's extremely cold or extremely hot. So let's go out here and let's look at the brooder. And like I said, before the end of the video, we'll show y'all what the baby chicks look like out of this homemade incubator. Well guys, this here's the brooder box. Now this is made out of some kind of storage container. I don't know exactly what this was used for, but they made stackable and they made to pick up with a forklift. And they heavy duty plastic, and it's 5 foot long and 4 foot wide. And I just built me a lid and put on it, and I'm gonna get y'all over here and show y'all some of the great features about this brooder. Now one of the great features is on both ends, the doors open up, so in the summertime, if you got them in there, and you ain't needing your heat lamps and stuff, you can open the doors up on both ends. And I framed me up some 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch hardware, made me a screen here. So when the door is shut, you can just open these doors and let them have fresh air and light in the summertime. But that's pretty convenient. Got latches and everything. That's the way it's made, that's the way it came. Now on the inside, you can see I got it divided into 2 compartments, and I got one side bigger than the other side. But like these last breast chicks that I got from Chase, once they got bigger, and we got into that week of snowing and I kept them in here longer, I got just 2 screws holding this board in. I removed 2 screws, and I don't try to take the board out, I just slide it all the way down to one end. But I just got it cleaned out. I ain't washed it out yet. But I got it cleaned out after getting them chickens out. And I put me a rod across here so I can hang their water. When they get bigger, I go to these hanging style waters and the hanging style feeder. Now the hanging style feeder I'll show you, it's in there in the big brooder pen. It ain't got no top on it, so all I got to do is open the door and pour more feed in it every day. It just keeps them from spilling so much feed and scratching their bedding over into their water and feed. Now, one of the things I come up with during that freezing weather is thermostat controlled heat. Now, this ain't the heat lamp. I got a heat lamp right here in the corner. That heat lamp right here in the corner stays on so the chicks can get up under it. On this side, I got a heat lamp, but right now I got a heat plate because I'm next gonna be hatching out some quail here pretty quickly. I'm probably gonna have some chicks and quails at the same time, so I put the quails over here on the smaller side. So even though I leave the heat lamp on and the heat plate, if there's some on that side, I can turn it off or whatever. But even with them heat lamps in there and heat plate where they chicks can get under it, when it's extremely cold, I had this thermostat controlled heat bulbs, and them are 150 watts I believe. Now mounted one on each side. Now of course the one on that side is going to go off when this one goes off because it's controlled by this thermostat control right here. Now the reason I had this, before I ever got a greenhouse several years ago, I built a little mini seed starter. And I'll show y'all a picture of it's out there now. I'm using it for a bed to plant in. But I used that seed starter and I had a clear top on it. And I had the door on it to where it would self-open and close. And I attached a link to the video above. Y'all can go back and watch that. It was pretty nifty. So I already had that thermostat and them heat lamps. So after I used the little mini seed starter in my mini greenhouse, I put a mini greenhouse in there. So if I had a few plants started and it got real cold, I had them thermostat control there set up in the mini greenhouse. So all I had to heat was it, not the whole greenhouse. Well, since then, I got the diesel heater in there, so I done away with the mini greenhouse. And I know this is sounding crazy, but I got videos on all that stuff. And that was out in my greenhouse, just out there. Wasn't getting used. And what made me think about it is when I had these chicks in here, these last ones, I used a thermostat control that you use on a heat mat to start seeds. I had it hanging in here, and I had a extra heat lamp in here. One stayed on all the time, had it raised up because the chicks done got bigger by then. They was about 4 weeks old. But like I said, we was in the ice and snow, so I wanted to leave them in here till after the ice and snow was over. So I put another heat lamp in here and head over in that far corner. And that thermostat controlled off that heat mat would kick it on and off once it got in the night when it really got cold. We had several nights in the low teens and one night down to 9. Well, I was out here one day during that, and I'm like, why ain't you done thought of this? You got the perfect thing already made for it, already on 2 little blocks of woods. The bulbs is in it, already wired up, already had the plug. All I had to do is fasten it to the wall back there and plug it in and turn it on. So guys, that's my brooder box. I got electricity run out here to my garden area, chicken area, and I just use a cord to run over in it to plug things up. And it works very well. It's even gonna work better now that I put that thermostat control in there. So after my chicks come out of here, after they get bigger and come out of here, I turn this one pin, which I got pin C there for a breeder pin, but that's gonna tag's gonna come off. I put them down here, and we're gonna go in here. And I made a little covered area back there, and I can hang a heat lamp in there. For them freezing nights, they can still go in there, but they done got big enough now. Unless we get back down in the 20s, they don't need that light back there, but they can get up in there and kind of like in a dog house. Here's the hanging feeder I was saying I used in my brooder. I love it because it hangs in there. You can adjust the height of it. Like I got a little chain here, you can adjust the height of it as they grow. But what I really love about it is the top's open. I can just tote feed in here and just pour it in there. I ain't got to unscrew nothing and be handling nothing. Also in this pen I got that's a dog bowl, but it's plugged in electricity, keeps your water from freezing. And that's been working very good last week when we had the cold weather, or week before last. So like I was saying, somebody was wanting to see my brooder set up. I don't know if they just seen it in the background on a video, because I really don't know that I've ever showed a video on this. But I was really wanting to do it again anyway, since I come up with that thermostat control. So guys, that just works really good. Your chicks have got your heat lamp and heat plate on all the time, they can get under, but yet if you live where it gets down extremely cold, that there kind of keeps the whole box. I mean, that night it was 9 degrees, it kept the whole box in there. Anywhere I put that thermometer, kept it about 35, 40 degrees, kept it above freezing. And then they could, if they got a little wind draft, they could go back and get under their heat lamp to warm up. That's my little brooder box, and I'm proud of it. I wish I could have come buy another one of them boxes somewhere. Actually, this was one of them deals where you haul it off, you can have it, because they was going to throw it away, and I seen it. They actually had a dog house made out of it. I come home and tore their old lid off and made me a better lid, and my screens on each end. And I'm like, that'll be perfect for a brooder, and it has been. Well guys, it's hatch day, and I see 2 in there hatched already, but I'm not going to open it up. I'm going to give them till tomorrow, because them's going to be good for 24 hours, even don't know other ones hatch. Like I said, there's 7 eggs in there. I wasn't sure how fertile they are. I candled, I think I said on the 10th day, but that wasn't correct. I candled them on the 10th day, and then I waited the rest of the days before I brought them out here for lockdown. But earlier I said I candled them on the 10th day. That was wrong on that. They looked like they was, I'm not good at that candling stuff, because usually I don't even candle my quail eggs. I just put them in there, and what hatches hatch and what don't. Now if I get to smelling something, then I'll find it and get it out of there. But as long as I ain't smelling nothing, I just leave them in there. But we'll check back tomorrow and see how many we got out of them settings. Guys, it's the next morning, and we got 6 out of 7 eggs hatched. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can see I just left the egg turner in there. I didn't remove it when I put them in lockdown. We got them there look like they like a little bit being dry, so I'll leave this in the incubator here for a few more hours, and then I'll put these out in the brooder. But even if this egg hatches, I'm probably, odds are the chick end up being a weak chick from being late hatching, so I ain't really worried about that. But 6 out of 7, that's an awesome hatch rate. So the eggs didn't spend their eternity starting out in here. Like I said, I put them in my manna coop in the house and had them turning until I finished testing this. Put my fan and my new temperature controller on here. But the next eggs, my quails are starting to lay eggs. And I think I can put about 25 or 30 quail eggs in here. I'm gonna save up, and then I'm gonna do a full run on them. But 6 out of 7 eggs, this is gonna be a good incubator. Being such thick wall, and it got down to 9 one night and several nights in the teens, and this thing kept the temperature within 1 degree. Also, if it done that when it's cold, it ought to do the same thing in the summer. The light won't have to come on as much. And I can leave this one out here. After I do a full test with my quail eggs, the odds is what I'm gonna do when I wanna do a few, like 12, a whole 12 chicken eggs. The odds is what I do, I put them in the incubator in the house, let them do their turning, then bring them back out here at lockdown, put more eggs in there. That way, I ain't gotta be cleaning the mess up when they hatch in my incubator in the house. Actually, I got 3 little incubators in the house, but I can take this one, pull my little egg turner there out and take it outside and wash it out with the water hose real easy. But that's it. We got some beautiful little American Bresse chicks. This here's a one-on-one breeding experiment I'm trying to do with the male, with the rooster that I have from Mandolin Royal, with one of the hens that I got from Bresse Farms. And I'll show y'all a picture of them. The hen, the older she gets, to me looks like some of her yellow's going away. At first I was saying she was too yellow, but it may not be that her yellow's going away, it's just the other chickens is in there and it's been snowed and rained and all that, and they done got dirtied up, so it may just make her not look as yellow as up against them. Got some pretty little chicks. I'm finna check them out, make sure their toes is all good. Crooked toes, that can come from your incubator. Temperatures wasn't correct, too high or too low, or your humidity too high or too low. Or it could be a genetic thing. But don't never discard a chicken because it's got a crooked toe thinking it's genetics, because it could have just been the incubator. Now if you breed that chicken and you start getting crooked toes over and over, then you could about say that's due to genetics in the chicken that has the crooked toe. Then you want to put him in the freezer. Like I said, I'm gonna leave these in here, let them get dry, stay warm. Go get my brooder box fixed up, put some bedding in it, get it warmed up and the heat plate on, and I'll transfer these out. Guys, it took me a little while to get over being mad at myself. When I checked these bitties this morning and showed y'all, I put this top back on there, and y'all see how I have that temperature sensor hanging there. Well, when I put that top back on there, I wasn't paying attention, and that little temperature probe was hanging on the outside of this box, and guess what happened? It never kicked off. Got extremely too hot in there and killed all 6 of my chicks. So I'm starting over again. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do something right here to where it holds that temperature sensor straight, or that won't happen again. But I done discarded the chicks. Like I said, it took me a while to get over being mad at myself. That just made me plumb upset to my stomach.